Hey guys, welcome back. So this is just for transparency's sake. I saw Scytha being a top percent gainer, and I looked at the 1 year chart, and it looks like a short, right? But it's a very, very low float with a lot of volume and news. And I said to myself, I always short these and they always squeeze. It looks like it just kind of bumps its head and it's going down. I didn't see anything on Oracle with it. And I saw this upward trend of motion. Hold on, let me make a line. All I saw was upwards motion. And I got in here pretty much expecting a breakout to go to the moon. um, and it double topped and then it trend reversed. And and so I'm in from here 50 shares at like 9.15, right? Basically trying to buy the top, which is never good when you're going long. So it looked like a short, but because of these factors, I decided to go long. And so immediately I'm buying near the top versus getting here short and risking off of this double top at 970. And once it broke the trend, I should have gotten out here, but I decided to be extremely stubborn. And on top of being stubborn, I added to a loser, which I don't do as a short seller, but I do as a long. It's just a bad habit. It's a very bad habit as a trader. It means you're being stubborn. It means you're going against the what's happening. It means you're fighting the market. And this is a psychological thing that happens to traders. I'm tired of losing. I want some gains, but can I really take on the ocean with my little shovel? No, I can't. So I'm experiencing pain right now. But I'm in 50 shares here, and then genius me decided to add another 50 shares because I was like, oh, it'll probably reverse over here, right? So I added another 50 shares at because I was like, oh, it's reversing right here, this little green line, and it's going to come back because it's after hours now. So I got in another 50 shares at 580. So I think I'm down about 250, $300 on my position. And it's just like, Liz, what are you doing? But the truth of the matter is, I'm tired of cutting losses. I really am. Like, I want some fucking gains. And until I cut this loss, it's not a loss in my mind. So that's kind of my plan is to just fucking let it go. Like, how bad could this be? I'm so close to the floor. I don't expect it to go to zero, right? Like, look at this. There, it crashed through support. Like, am I making excuses? Maybe, but it's had all this volume and it's a super duper low float. And there's so much manipulation in this game that I really hope. And this was beautiful uptrend. It was beautiful on a low float. It's such a squeezer chart, right? But what did the chart actually do? This would have been the perfect short entry for a $5 gain. But I questioned myself and I said, well, I always fuck up with this shit. I always get squeezed. So instead of looking at what was actually happening, I took the past into consideration. And I said, well, I always fucking lose. So let me do something different, right? I'm trying to prevent losses by doing something different. But now the thing that I would have done would have worked. So trading is so confusing. And I was trying to do like a counterintuitive move and then it didn't work. And instead of cutting my loss right here when the trend changed, I fucking just kept eating and eating and adding and adding and so, this is just a look into the psychology behind a failed trade and how a failed trade can become a massive loss, especially with size. Like, I don't really have size. I have 50 shares here and 50 shares here, and we're kind of close to the bottom. Like, yes, it could drop another $2 and then we would be at the bottom. It could completely flatten out, right? But I'm kind of in this middle range, but I'm so stubborn. I don't want a loss. I don't want a big loss. So I'm just going to hold this. I'm just going to be a stubborn bag holder because that money is not gone until I cut the trade. And I'm just being a fucking dick about it. But this is how I feel right now. I don't want to cut this trade. And even if it comes back, I would have learned the wrong lesson, right? Because I'm not cutting the trade at a loss. We're always supposed to cut the trade at a loss, cut it quickly so that we don't suffer losses. But this is just my mindset right now. I lost so much money in NFTs, and I'm bringing that frustration to the stock market, and I'm like, I this looks like something. I'm interpreting it as something. There's a low float. Why the hell is it not going in my favor? So I'm being stubborn, just like in my regular life. Like stuff is not working that I want to do, and I'm just like not willing to change. It's got to work, and I want it to work, and that type of mentality doesn't work in the stock market. So hopefully you can learn from my mistakes, but this is where I am right now. I'm going to hold SYTA until it's either a win or I break even, because I'm just fucking tired of this. I'm just fucking tired of trading in general. So that's all for now. Let me know what you think. If you watch this video in its entirety, then you can leave the comment of um, mountain because it looks like a mountain. But anyway, it's an interesting lesson, interesting moment in time. Um, and being in this headspace, maybe I should have just walked away from trading. We haven't had a top percent gainer that's moved, and I want money. And so this is what happens. This is what happens when you try to wrestle and wrangle the market and when you don't cut your losses. So anyway, I hope this makes sense. See you later. Remember to like the video, comment, and subscribe. And it helps my channel. So I appreciate it. Bye, guys. I'll do an update of whatever the fuck happens. Bye.